Hold up.
Hey SMU crew, I am so excited about this training and I know you are going to be too. We are going to be talking about the 3 foundations of killer content, aka the 3 E's of creating content that can potentially go viral. This is the exact system that Stephanie and I use every single day to create content that gets massive reactions on social media. So you ready? Let's dive on in. Number 1, the first E of killer content is entertain. The second E, educate. And the third E, engage. What do those mean though? How do you do that? Well, don't worry, I'm going to show you in this awesome training. So number 1, we're going to start with entertain. This is quite possibly one of my favorite E's of killer content. But before we start, I want to ask you, who is your favorite person to follow on social media? I know we've all got somebody, right? Everybody loves to follow engaging, exciting, educational, entertaining, fun platforms, people who are killing it on social media, right? So who are yours? Well, I will be honest with you guys, nothing to do with politics, since clearly these are 2 opposite sides of a polar spectrum. I like following Kanye West and Donald Trump simply because I like to see what shenanigans they're up to. I often find that some of the stuff that they're doing on social media is actually some of the stuff that performs the best. So I like to learn from the psychology behind their social media postings. But I have one person who's my absolute favorite, who I can actually stand behind their work, and that is Rhys Witherspoon. She's got an incredible Instagram and an incredible Facebook account where she's telling a story. She's relatable, she's fun. She's different than any other celebrity because everything that she does feels so real. But why do we love these people that we follow? Can you think of why? It's because they feel human. They feel real to us. We see something that's cool, that's exciting, that's entertaining. Now, it is our job to do the same for our followers and for the followers of our clients. Now, I'm going to teach you guys 8 major ways to entertain using yours or your clients' profiles on social media. And as you fill out the 8 major ways to entertain in your workbook that comes with this lesson, you're going to find that these are things you can use for yourself and every single one of your clients. So number 1, relevant content. What that means is putting out content that your audience, your target market is likely to enjoy, that maybe has nothing to do with exactly what you offer. Number 2, memes. Okay, I love memes. I'll be totally honest with you. But the reason that I love them is because they are super entertaining and people can't help but like, comment, share. They enjoy them. They're fun. They're lighthearted. Number 3, viral content. Have you ever noticed that certain pages, like for example, Ashton Kutcher or George Takei, they have viral content shared on their page over and over again? It's not a secret, but the reason why they do it is because viral content has already performed on social media and is bound to perform again. So sharing viral content with your own little narrative or caption can do very, very well on social media. Number 4, hilarious situations. A good example of this is some of the situations that I share on my personal profile. Like the other day when I went to grab my cup of coffee and took a sip only to discover that there was a dead fly in my coffee. True story. But it's a hilarious situation. It can happen to anyone, and it makes your brand, your person feel so relatable that people can't help but to fall in love with the character that you're building using social media. Number 5, pop culture. Pop culture is also really cool because it shows that you care about what's going on. You know, maybe the VMAs went on. What does everyone think about Taylor Swift's latest video? There are great ways to intertwine pop culture to see and kind of gauge how your audience feels about the different things that are going on. Today's issues, This is one you have to be a little bit more careful about because today's issues can be very sensitive, but sometimes it is the right time and place to share different things. For example, if something was affecting single moms, you better believe I'm going to share it. If some legislation was affecting them, I'm all about sharing things that are relevant to my audience, but also that are important to me as a person, as a business, as as our moral compass. Number 7, original content. This is quite possibly the most time consuming, but you guys know some of the greatest ways to create original content that's fun. And every single day I love to share with you guys the different ways that I like to create original content. And number 8, sarcastic or over-the-top humor. Who doesn't love a good pun? Who doesn't love something that makes you laugh? Sarcasm can be kind of tough on social media, but if you have the right following and the right page, it 100% makes sense. So now what I want you to do is I want you to brainstorm 10 influencers. Why? Because I want you to see what they're doing. Who are 10 people that your audience, or if you're doing this exercise for a client, that your client's audience most likely enjoy following? It's helpful to think of people who are celebrities, politicians, athletes, maybe major podcasters or motivational speakers, and write them all down. Who are those 10 influencers? And take a note of which of their content is bleh content versus amazing content. What are they using to entertain their following? The second E of the 3 E's of killer content is educate. Education can be so boring though, right, you guys? Like, nobody wants to educate consumers. It's not fun. Wait, I think, right? Well, I want you to think real fast. Recently on TV, there was this commercial where they showed ordinary people walking around in daily real life experiences, and every single person had their pants lowered enough to see an inch of their butt crack. And as you're watching the commercial, you're going, what? What? What is this? So they go from person to person. They show a dad, a mom, a teenager, all these different people, and you're seeing 1 inch of their butt crack. And at the very end, the mom grabs the jug of, it's not Roto-Rooter, but it's something that clears out the pipes. And it says, everyone's got a little plumber in them. So it's not something that's like sexy or fun or whatever, but they turned it into something interesting. You can do the exact same thing with education. 3 of my clients are in industries that would traditionally be considered fairly boring. ADHD, bar review for attorneys, and thyroid, right? How in the world would you ever make these 3 educational topics incredibly interesting? Well, we used a combination of telling a story, educating in a way that people can't help but share. So for example, for my client with ADHD, what we did is we really connected with the emotions behind the audience so that when we're educating, it comes in small doses that they can't help but share. For my bar review client, he's super, super personal. He's a very attractive character on camera. So he has tons of videos of himself, interviewing other people and talking about their success, educating people on what that could look like for them. And for my thyroid client, he's not scared to go live anywhere. So as he's educating people, he goes live absolutely anywhere, talking about, the latest and greatest and how you can fix your thyroid. And somehow it works. For example, my ADHD client is so engaged and going viral. My bar review client has a 15x ROI on every dollar we spend. And my thyroid client has an ever-growing Facebook page with hundreds of leads being booked every single day. So what you have to do is turn education into something interesting. How can you share topics? How can you share tidbits that really, really, intrigue people? Turn it into a juicy secret instead of turning it into a laundry list and making it feel like something they need to throw onto their to-do list. So to do this, what I want you to do is think about the 10 things that you wish every single customer knew about your industry. Now, if you're doing this for yourself, it's obviously your industry. If you're doing it for your clients, it's for their industry. You can follow along in the workbook that's provided, and this is a great place to keep track of your answers. Now, this is where we get into what makes education interesting. What are the pain points of those 10 different pieces of info? For example, if I wanted consumers to know that an intern isn't a safe option for hiring to do your social media, I would tell horror stories to show people the fear of what can go wrong. If I wanted to explain to prospects that Facebook ads isn't easy, I would hit on the pain point of time. How much time have they spent on Facebook ads and what results have they gotten? How much time do they think they'd have to spend on Facebook ads in order to get results? That is the time I save. So it's not easy. I'm not sitting around doing this just for fun. It's something that takes a lot of work. All right, we're on my third, and okay, this is really my favorite E. I said that entertain was, but it has to be engage. So engage is the third E of creating killer content. As you brainstorm the 10 different pain points of those 10 pieces of info, start to wrap your mind around how you could use those in social media posts in order to turn it from just education into something that people have to like, comment, and share on. They're excited about it because all of a sudden they feel empowered, or they realize the perceived loss if they don't invest into something. So using pain points to frame education is a great way to turn it into something that people love to share. And we're on to the third E, which is quite possibly my favorite, even though I said it was entertain. Okay, I lied. It's engage. Engagement is amazing. So creating content that allows people and invites people to engage is life-changing for your social media and for your clients' social media. Before we start this, I want you to think, what are 3 things on Facebook that you've liked over the last day? It might be a silly video. Could be a post that has to do with a family member who overcame something big. Maybe it's a meme that caught your interest. Maybe it's a really silly viral video that has a couple kids and has nothing to do with the current events of today. So why did you like or share those 3 pieces of content? Were they funny? Were they political? Did they make a statement? Well, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret as to why people like, comment, share, engage. It doesn't necessarily just have to do with being funny or political or making a statement. There's one overall thing that makes people share, like, comment, engage on social media. People engage when something makes them feel. Feel what? Well, when it makes them feel happy, angry, sad, proud, outraged, giggly. I put giggly because I couldn't think of a better way to explain laughing. So these emotions, if you're following along in the workbook, these emotions are exactly what makes people engage. Engagement is all about getting the prospect to feel. What are the 3 things that your target customer can't help but to engage with? Another way to phrase this would be, what are 3 things that makes your target customer feel? If you're working with moms, maybe it's something about, emotional, the emotional side of being a parent. Maybe it's a really funny story of the real life of being a parent, how not glamorous it is. Maybe it's a viral video of a kid who got out of their crib and did something crazy. Maybe it's, a video that shares how proud parents are. If you're working with business people, what makes them feel? They usually relate to entrepreneurship videos that show them that they can do anything. What makes your target customer feel? So you've got it, the 3 E's of killer content. I can't wait to see how you are going to put these 3 E's into effect in order to create absolutely killer content. And just wait until the next training comes out. It's all about how to maximize content. Once the 3 E's perform, it's time to add an M. So EEM, E-E-E-M. We're going to entertain, educate, engage, and maximize. So I can't wait to see you in the next training. I'll see you later, SMU crew.